Cameras on dashboards, cameras in interrogation rooms, cameras on police stings. Well, now, itsy bitsy teensy weensy little cameras on taser guns. That's a new idea to help police officers prove their use of force is warranted. Jeff Goldblatt in Peoria, Illinois, with this report.
Get a better target.
Police in Peoria, Illinois first started carrying tasers 3 years ago. Now 150 officers carry them, with plans to buy 100 more to arm the entire department. But the city is also considering adding a bit of insurance to the weapons, video cameras.
It's accountability. Pure and simple. That's what it is.
Like dashboard cameras, taser cams may prove invaluable to law enforcement by showing exactly what happens when a taser is fired. Peoria County Sheriff Michael McCoy had taser cams installed 6 months ago. While complaints of misuse haven't gone down, McCoy says resolution now comes much faster.
An attorney will come in and say, look, I want to talk to you about how my client was treated last night, or so-and-so will say, well, here's what we can tell you. Here's the video we either took, or now we'll show you what we've got in the taser. Most of those are very short interviews with attorneys.
But a drop in lawsuits in Peoria hasn't convinced human rights activists tasers are any safer. Amnesty International says nearly 300 people have been killed by tasers, which send more than 1,000 volts of electricity through a person's body. The group says police have simply gone trigger happy with tasers.
Tasers should be used as an alternative to lethal force, that they should be used as a weapon of last resort, not as a weapon of first resort.
Taser International stands by its product and cites police statistics claiming that as many as 10,000 people are alive today because of the alternative to deadly force. In the company's opinions, these cameras will only add to the accountability of both police and suspects. Jeff Goldblatt, Fox News.
All right, so can police departments shield themselves against lawsuits with these brand new cameras on the laser guns? Let's get our legal team to weigh in on this. Joining us once again, Fox News legal analyst Mercedes Colvin and former prosecutor, veteran lawyer Paul Callan. All right, I think they're a great idea. It's not just the accountability, but it's the deterrent effect. Police are not going to be abusive if they know they could be caught on camera, right, Mercedes?
Oh, I think that's a great point, too, Greg. I mean, it's not only the fact that they're going to protect themselves, it's also what are their abuses, too. I mean, CCRB, which is the Civilian Complaint Review Board, has tens of thousands of complaints a year of police brutality. If the police know now they're being the big brother's watching, quote unquote, right, they're going to be less inclined to use excessive force.
Yeah, but I mean, it could also go the other way. I mean, we might also find out through some of these videos that some cases might be, at least what the public would consider, questionable. This one that we've been covering lately about this woman who was mouthing off and got tasered. They say that officially that's proper use, but is it really?
I think it's a stretch, Patty. I mean, the purpose of tasering is to take somebody who's out of control, who's a threat to the officer or the public, and to subdue them in a way that they won't be permanently injured. Now, somebody who's just mouthing off to a cop, they don't meet that standard. And using a taser on somebody who's being a little loudmouthed is way over use of force.
Second decision. If someone's mouthing off, you know they're about seconds away of becoming physical at that point. They know. Well, you know what, Penny? But that's the concern that most of these I was going to say attorneys, most of the police have, is that you can turn split-second decisions into that.
So shoot them now and think about it later?
Well,
is that it? I could use one of those tasers on this set.
Or do a taser, though. If the object is to subdue them, then that's the way to do it.
But they were never going to shoot this woman. She was, apparently she walked out with something because she had an emergency phone call, came back, and the cops were already there accusing her of stealing. And she was like, no, I had this call from my family, and she was all hysterical.
She may have used a little profanity, so since when do you get to tase somebody for profanity?
Well, you know, I think the irony of it is tasers save lives, because there are a lot of situations where the cops would shoot somebody, and they don't now.
Right.
But in situations like this, where maybe that level of force shouldn't be used, it's very easy to pull the trigger because you know you're not going to kill the person. So I think it does encourage the police sometimes to use more force than is necessary under the circumstances.
By the way, I don't buy the Amnesty International 300 people have died because of tasers. I mean, consider the source. I mean, Amnesty International would have no prisons, no jails, no crimes. You know, everybody.
And plus, they use it. Actually, they use it during training. The cadets use it on themselves to do this type of training when they're dealing with the tasers. They wouldn't be doing that if it's lethal.
Well, but I guess the question is, it's not necessarily that they're getting shot to death by the taser, but is it bringing on some other stressor that was already there, and are they dying from that underlying stressor, like a heart attack or something?
But Patty, if those statistics are accurate, and I, like Greg, I just don't believe that there are substantial deaths caused by the taser. And let me tell you something. If those stats were true, we would wouldn't be using tasers in this country because there would be lawsuits against police departments, juries would award huge amounts of money, and that would be the end of the taser. The taser is a very, very safe device if it's used properly.
You know what? Remember the famous "Don't Tase Me, Bro"? I think we have that video of Andrew Meyer, you know, the kid who... And thank goodness there were a couple of cameras inside that room where Senator John Kerry was speaking. The kid acts up purposely, and they tase him because he was resisting arrest. I mean, there's a prime example why cameras everywhere are a pretty good idea.
Well, but here's the choice. So you have a police officer who's trying to subdue this individual. What's the choice? Use the baton that can really crush someone's skulls and bones, or use a taser that will subdue them momentarily?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really the choice that these officers have, and it's split second. I mean, we're talking about 2 or 3 seconds where they have to react. Yeah. And that's why even this woman that mouthed off, it could have been seconds away from becoming physical.
Why,
what about this one? Remember this one? Okay, remember this guy, and he's kicking her after he tases her once or twice, and see? Now watch this. He's going to kick her, too. So, oh yeah, let's tase you again. Let's kick you.
Oh, I mean, it's horrible.
Now, there's another example of excessive use of force, likely by police caught on camera.
Yeah, but of course, if the guy didn't have a taser, who knows what he would have done to her. Mercedes may be right. He might have used a nightstick and beaten her into unconsciousness. So maybe the taser actually protected her in those circumstances.
It does seem like the camera, we did see that on camera, and we're seeing more and more, pretty much we're seeing everything on camera
and
now.
that cop will be disciplined, and other cops who misuse the taser will be disciplined, I think, because of the use